top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Here's Barry J. McDonald and the RightCom.com podcast.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode from RightCom.com. And today's podcast episode is entitled, You Don't Deserve a Thing. Now, that probably sounds a little bit harsh, but if you stick with me in this podcast episode, it will make more sense. Now, this past while, I've been watching people on TikTok who are kind of grumbling at the moment of how low views they're getting on the TikTok videos. They're getting maybe 100 views, they're getting 200 views, they're getting maybe 300 views, and they're just complaining. They're saying, well, is TikTok maybe turning down the flow of viewers to my videos? You know, I used to get 1,000 people, now I only get 100 people, and it's just not fair, and they're griping and moaning about it. But I remember something the great Gary Vee said a long, long time ago. I'm not sure if I heard it in a podcast episode or where I had heard it, but it did kind of make me kind of rethink what I do. And what he said at the time was, you don't deserve a thing. You know, just because you create a video and put it on TikTok today, it doesn't mean that you deserve anyone watching it. If you record a podcast episode today, that doesn't mean that anyone has to listen to it. If you write a fiction book, doesn't mean anyone has to read it. If you write a blog, again, no one has to read it. If you create a digital product today, nobody has to buy it. You don't deserve any of those. Now that does sound a little bit harsh because, you know, you think if you put something out, well, you should deserve something coming back to you. But again, if we look at those TikTok videos, imagine those people who are complaining of only getting maybe 100 or 200 views. Imagine if they went down the middle of their town and they stood up on a little soapbox and they tried to tell the people in their town, you know, the kind of subject matter that they're speaking about in that video. How many people would you think would just stop what they're doing, stand in front of them and just give them any attention or listen to them? Now, you would probably get the odd person who would probably slow down and think to themselves, what is this Yahoo talking about? I'll give them a second of my time, and then they'll probably go off and just carry on along the merry way. And a lot of those people don't understand that, you know, when you look at your stats for a video in TikTok, you've just got 100 people who have watched your video. 100 people. Imagine right now we had 100 people standing in front of you. Now, I'm sure you would be really, really impressed with having 100 people paying attention to you. But these people, unfortunately, believe that, you know, it's all numbers, numbers, numbers. I deserve thousands, I deserve 10,000, I deserve 100,000. But as the great Gary Vee says, you don't deserve anything. And sometimes maybe keeping that at the back of your mind, that I don't deserve anything, will keep you a lot more humble, will probably stop you from growing a big ego or thinking that the whole world needs to listen to you, to stop what they're doing, to buy everything you do, because at the end of the day, you don't deserve a thing. So whatever you're doing right now, be it a podcast, whatever, maybe videos on TikTok, whether it's blogging, whatever project you're doing right now, you don't deserve anyone else interacting with that. You don't deserve any listeners. You don't deserve any viewers. You don't deserve any cash from what you do. Now, the fact that you do get listeners, viewers, and cash is amazing. And even though you might gripe and you may grumble and you may say, well, these numbers are too low, everyone else has great numbers, I'm not doing great, I want you to have a look at those numbers. And again, I want you to even think about right now, I am really, really grateful that you have taken a few moments out of 24 hours and you've set it aside and you listen to me here for a few moments. Now, if you're a regular listener to this podcast, I want to thank you. You probably deserve a sainthood for sticking with me for so long. But I'm grateful that you've given me up your time. It means a lot to me that you've set aside a few minutes of your day to listen to this podcast episode. So maybe you should be more grateful about the people who are paying attention to you, because at the end of the day, you don't deserve any of them. Those people could, ignore you. They could carry along on their way. They could go and listen to someone else. But the fact that they are watching your videos, reading your blog, buying your products is amazing. So don't take that for granted. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more from the Rightcom.com podcast, be sure to subscribe now for more tips, tricks, and ideas you can use to make more money from your words. See you in the next episode.